in spite of your desire to stay alone, you build very close relationships with those people who share that with you. Closer than family, closer than brothers, closer than parents. Your life depends on them. Their life depends on you. There is no other life. I mean, when you're at war, the world does not exist outside of where you are. That's just it. And the people that are there with you are your family. And I'm treated that way because you treat your squad members as your brothers. And it keeps you from going insane. But when one of them dies, when one of them is ripped to pieces by a basketball-sized chunk of shrapnel in front of you, you don't think that you're going to survive that. You don't really want to. So, I had some friends. I had some good friends. And we used to write. I mean, we used to write to their folks. I had a guy named Bob Tewksbury from Maine. And the three of us would write an article for his hometown paper. He lived in a small town in Maine. And the three of us would write this article for his hometown paper. It was like correspondence in the field. And we would make things up because it was our joke on the world. I mean, we were telling back there all kinds of John Wayne stories about Vietnam. And then laughing because they'd actually print this garbage, Can't believe how gullible those people are back there. And Bob took her in the chest. He was right next to me. We were advancing online, and we were going into a village there wasn't supposed to be anybody there. It was an empty village, and we were supposed to encircle it so that anybody hiding in the village couldn't get away. And we came in online and began an encircling movement, and the village opened up. And what we didn't know is during the night, an entire division of NVA had moved in. And they weren't supposed to be NVA there. The NVA was supposed to be north, but apparently, I found this out later, the Viet Cong were afraid that they weren't getting enough support on the Bang Son Plains, and they had to do something that would terrorize the populace enough to where the populace would be more inclined to feed them and hide them and resist the Americans. And so the Viet Cong asked for assistance from the NVA. The NVA moved a division down. They filtered into that village the night before, and we went in just to check out the village, and the village exploded. We took 30% casualties that day. First 20 minutes, we took 30% casualties. And Bob was one of them. He caught a round in the chest. And I knew he was gone because it's called a sucking chest wound. And you can see the blood pump out and then get sucked back in, pump out and sucked back in, and you know that the lungs are filling up, and you know he's dead. He's looking at you, but he's dead. I mean, he's it's like, there's a look like, help me. And you can't. Just can't. So, I watched Tewksbury die. That was December 7th, 1967. And then after that, I really didn't care too much anymore. I cared that I came home. I certainly wanted to live. But I didn't want to know anybody. I didn't want to get close to anybody. I had another friend named Gino, George and Gino, who survived. He lives in LA now. But even that, the three of us, me and Gino and Tewksbury, used to write the column for his hometown paper. And then Gino and I came apart. We drifted apart because neither of us wanted to be that close to anybody ever again, as we were to Tewksbury. So we still worked together. And I never really, when I left Vietnam, I never talked to Tewksbury, and Gino again. Never talked to Gino again. So that kind of brings us to Tet Offensive, 1968. That was December 7th. And then they stood us down because it was a horrendous battle, and we were decimated, 30% casualties, and we were no longer a fighting force. We didn't have the people, and we had too many new guys there. So they put us on what was called QRF. QRF stands for Quick Reaction Force. And what they did is they pulled you out of the field, and they would hold you in reserve so that if anybody out there hit combat, made contact, and were overwhelmed and were calling for reinforcements, you were it. You know, you had to go in. And while we were on QRF, I only remember going in one time, and that was, going into a hot LZ is terrifying in itself, because you come in a flight of helicopters, and there's no protection, and of course, the enemy on the ground is trying to shoot the helicopters out of the sky before they get down, and you have no place to hide. You're in the air, you know, and you're fully exposed, and all you can do is yell for the helicopter pilot to get down faster, you know, because you want to get out. You want to get out of that helicopter and find some place to hide behind, you know. And of course, they have to put you down in a clearing because that helicopter has to have a clearing to land. So you're put down in the middle of a field, and there's no cover, and people are shooting at you from all around, and it's just run and pray that you don't get hit. So we worked QRF for a little bit, and then they put us back in the field for a couple of days, brought us back in, and announced to us that we were moving. We're now moving north because they knew that Tet was building. I don't know, you guys read about Tet, 68, the Tet Offensive? Tet was building, and they knew it was coming. They didn't know where it was coming from. They didn't know how it was going to take place, but they knew it was coming.